And we are back at it. Happy Tuesday, everybody. What do we got today? Still nursing a messed up collarbone. I have like a sore on my collarbone from lifting. And because I broke this collarbone twice, and so the barbell hits it in such a way that I think it's opened up. So I have to actually take the time to tape that tomorrow. But other than that, it's been a pretty good day. Not as productive as I'd hoped, but it's never as productive as I hope, let's be honest. I always have such big, grand plans. Let's go ahead. We're gonna jump right into the question of the day: how to start creative writing. So, I would say just start writing about and exploring an idea that speaks to you. But I have a feeling that whoever asked this question doesn't quite know what idea speaks to them. So first, let's just define creative writing. It's either creating characters in a real world or creating a world and the characters. Or, I mean, I like to think of it creating a world and putting characters you already know and love, like Marge Simpson, right? And then you put it in this created world, and that's creative writing. But if you really want to get into creative writing more broadly and don't have an idea that you want to explore, look into writing prompts. So I write on Reddit writing prompts pretty regularly. You can buy books of writing prompts if you want. There's all sorts of ideas online. And then one thing that might help is to reframe the way you think about writing in the first place. Creative writing doesn't have to be this big daunting elephant in the room. It literally is just exploring an idea. And so if you have something in your head like, I wonder what would happen if, I don't know, for whatever reason, humans started having broader necks, like wider necks. Okay, well, all of a sudden, you can write out like what might happen and create a story on that. So just think of it much more like exploring. So it's not this kind of this ominous creative writing in the distance. It's something you're just exploring. You're talking it out, talking with words, like you're writing words, but just like you would talk an idea out with a friend, it's the same concept. You're writing an idea out, and that having that reframe of your mindset, and then plus getting external support with writing prompts will help get you going in your creative writing. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment or join Twitch and we talk about it in my chat. So love to have you by Monday through Friday at 4. Zebra, what's up, man? Dude, coffee, rest, right? I don't want to say the other stuff, but the stuff like, yeah, get a good night's sleep, get hella caffeinated, sit down at your desk and just start fucking writing. I mean, at a certain point, it's kind of what it is, right? Last night was insane. What happened last night? Storms? Were you able to get some sleep? Or was it just like crazy, like a madhouse? Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Remind me of there's that song by not the Struts. Strokes? The Stokes? Strokes? Did a 9.5 hour stream, had over 200 plus views, and the start of a new fan fiction. Holy shit! Zebra, you got 200 views. Dude, I should be joining your community. What was your genre? I mean, I would have joined you. I would have hopped on your stream if I had been awake when you did it. Make no doubt about that. I can't believe you had so many what's it called? Yeah, 212. I mean, 9 hour stream. Short. It's called short stream. First page is taking shape. Short stream my ass 9 hours. Damn, dude. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to read it. Had 2 hours sleep, you had to write it. Oh man, it's been such a long time since I've had one of those kind of days. Not planned. I was rated and the ball rolled. Okay. And were you in Elite Dangerous the entire time? Oh yeah, a lot of it's Elite Dangerous. I'm clicking around in it right now. And then where did you write on stream? Did you open up an editor? I bounced around between Inara. Inara is the website, okay. Libra is the software, and Elite. Ooh, did you make this picture, or is this like a stock photo at the bottom? I like that. Those fucking tattoos are awesome. Made it? It looks cool as fuck. I like it a lot. Interesting. Dude, that's a nice little artistic outlet. I mean, it looks really good. The beginning is, I have a genetic bacterium vesicula red sample from the Wolf 4 system, if you're interested. I got that far, but it's getting a little dense to read. I mean, I guess I'm not really doing anything, but I'll watch. I'll read it. I'll read it. I read the first bit. You have a deal. Dang, man, you really went in on this. I had no idea you could get those, like, that's 200 views on Elite Dangerous. I mean, that's a lot. What was the times? What was the times that you did this? When to when? Attempting to broaden my literary knowledge, so hopefully I can become a successful published author, likened to yourself. That will get the same amount of books published, though. I mean, it's just different. Like I literally have had the concept of like get to 1,000 published words in my head. So it's not like I've like purposefully done it like that. Finished up around 7 or 8 a.m. this morning. Hold on, so okay, so 15. Hold on, how many hours was it? 15 hours ago for 9 hours. And you finished at 7 a.m. this morning. So you started at like 10 o'clock last night. I was surprised no one came in to ask where I was. They heard me and decided to let me be and watched from the den of the house on the computer out there laughing at me. No, oh, like in the people in your house. They knew you were online still, and they were like, because I guess everyone gets up that early. The whole house was early to rise. I can't believe you only got 2 hours of sleep though. That's what's getting me. I'm like, man, this guy's wild. Yeah, that's true. Just chugging right along. Dude, good for you, man. And no issues with your stomach and stuff. That's the key. That's the first thing I thought when you said you were at it for so long. I was like, man, I hope he's like didn't have any problems, medical problems, you know. Let's see. Writing prompt. Love and lust potions only have that particular effect on most people. Folks who are actively repulsed by the thought of sex are instead sent into a blind rage when given those same potions. Hmm. Well, VA called me an hour ago and I had to see them in the morning. Oh, you have to go in tomorrow, I guess? How far is the VA from you? Oh, God. Shit, I bet your wife or something called and was like, you have to get him, blah, 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 blah. Off the 9-hour streams. 60 miles. I mean, without if there's like not any traffic or quick roads, it's like you can make that. That's not terrible. As a war cleric, your job is to guard and maintain the weapons of past heroes until a suitable owner can be found. Today, it seems the Desert Eagle has found a new champion. Hmm. I will hit the farm to Market Road and hammer down. I'll take my car versus truck tomorrow. It goes. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, you can really. I bet you on some of those open roads back there, because I know even just in these and like the Beltway, you can get up to like 80 or 90. Shit, I can't imagine how fast I would drive in like fucking just empty ass Texas roads. Is it so? Question: Is it flat enough where you can see if anyone's running radar in the distance? Slash, do people even run radar like that? 80 or 90? Okay, that's a good number. Yeah, I luckily I've never really gotten fucked with. I got pulled over once going 90. But then I just got my one ticket and then I was like, all right, whatever. And I don't even try and argue. I'm like, all right, dude, you got me. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I don't want to take my time. I don't care if you like, you know? But in the far future, a gladiator stadium finds its gladiators by time traveling the greatest warriors of all time into a single arena. You cannot believe you were chosen. Oh, that's interesting. 125 comments? Yeah, mine's gonna get buried. Once in a blue moon, I'll spot one, but not often. Last time I pulled over doing an excess of 120. Shit, they knew me, and I knew I wouldn't be going that fast. Like, oh, right, right, right. Oh yeah, I feel, and that I feel like is where like almost like a like a Texas or a more middle um more middle America state has over here. Like here, I feel like, dude, straight up, I'll be honest with you, I feel like even if I was ER, even if I called the even if I called the 911, I was like, "Hey, this is a medical emergency. I need to go." I'd be afraid that they're gonna shoot me as soon as I get out of the car. Like they're so unreasonable here. I feel like, but you know, and I feel like in Middle America they're like a little more reasonable as long as you're not black. But I literally don't know. I never lived in like in Texas or anything. I didn't stop till the ER door. Ooh, and that's your pool. Yeah, see, but that's to me. I feel like that's like, oh man, I'd be asking for trouble. Let's see here. Simple prompt. Damn it, Jack! Don't you get it? These people aren't like us. When they die, they stay dead. Interesting. I could do something with that. Not very many upvotes though. 7 hours ago. You are a self-absorbed, narcissistic hero. You don't do heroic things because they are the right thing to do, because they garner the praise of the people and make you popular. The villains are offended by this. I think I'll like this one. I'm gonna do this one, especially because that's how I always try to explain to Melissa. Like, it's just better it's like better to be nice and be like pro-social for your own benefit. Like, I don't do it for the benefit of the people; it's for my own self. So it's like this is the same thing. Self-absorbed, narcissistic hero. As rural as many live out here, they know ambulance or a helicopter is slower than coming down and racing the other side. Yeah. You just don't have the same population density to make it worth it to have enough outposts. Like, there's an ambulance, I think, God, I think a couple, like a block, 2 blocks from here, and then there's another one, another couple blocks, but just because there's so many people, in DC. What's a synonym for thug? The gangster, the hooligan. I'm gonna say hooligan. How was the 4th? It was chill. Melissa had wanted to do something, and I worked so like I worked almost till 4, a pretty normal day for me, and then when I normally get on stream. But Melissa had mentioned that she wanted to do something last night, so she said maybe like a walk or a movie. And so I said, like, let's watch a movie. So I just hopped on video games. Hopped on Destiny for like an hour or two until she was done. But I didn't want to stream because I didn't know how long she was going to take. And then we just watched like a cute little. It's on Netflix. It's called Sing 2. But it's it's like it's a fun, fun little movie. And so we just hung out, kind of smoked weed and watched that. Dude, she's still messed up. Like she won't go out. That's it. Thank you for asking. She's still she won't go outside right now. Like I have to really get her going to get her to go, even just to go to the bathroom, because she's so scared of all the, like, still, like, residually, I guess. Um I don't think she slept very well at all. And then especially because, like, this is like I'm in DC, this is like the capital. And so the way I think about it was like, if I was in like Paris, I would imagine the French Revolution or French Independence Day is going to go crazy like all night. And so I think it's something similar here because, again, this is like the capital of the United States. It's like Independence Day, and so um, yeah, dude, they were like, it was going, they were going strong, strong until 11:15, and because I couldn't sleep, and then finally they kind of passed out, and I didn't wake up till the morning, but I don't think Kita slept much at all. And I mean, she was visibly, we were watching the movie and she would get up and like pace real quick and then collapse. And Melissa would like sit with her on the floor while we were watching the movie. So it was like we were technically watching the movie together, but, like she's with, what's it called? So she'd be on the floor with Keita, but, you know, I think hopefully she'll be back to normal soon. It's always so bad for the dogs. I'm like really surprised that like more dog owners. I don't know. I mean, it's like, what do you do? It's like fireworks are such a tradition, but there's just so many dog owners here that had to have been just miserable for their pets. How was your fourth? You guys light any fireworks? Cinco de Mayo, right? Just have her chill the fuck out. One of the brother-in-laws popped a few with the nephew outside while I was streaming, but nothing extreme. Now his dog was inside and only opened his eyes once and went back to snoring. Night. Well, honestly, like, I'm a little bit surprised because where is she? She's in another room. But like, I'll take her to the gym, and I don't know if have you seen how I lift? You know what Olympic weightlifting is? I'll see if I can find a video real quick. But so I'm lifting uh regularly and like dropping weights on the what's it called? On the ground, like very loud, and she couldn't care less. And it's just like, let me see if I can find a video. So it's like, this is, so I'll be doing this at the gym, and then I'll drop it. Like, okay, imagine it dropped right there, right? And she'll be laying right next to it. She'll be laying literally right next to it, and nothing, not a peep. Man, I sucked last year. Anyways, But I mean, it's pretty loud when I drop the bar, and she doesn't even flinch, doesn't even open her eyes. But then fireworks, and she's like freaking out. I was like, what the hell? I was just surprised, to be honest. Explosions were, yeah. I don't know. I just thought that like they weren't like right outside my house or anything. Like they're loud, but I feel like the when I drop the barbell, it's louder. But I don't know. Maybe like the unknown nature of it. You know, like it's some kind of like primal response to like a storm. You know, because she doesn't. She knows why the loud noise came from the barbell. She doesn't. This is kind of like ambient loud bang, and so she kind of freaks out, I guess. I don't know. How do you protect against a hernia when you push it up over your head while spreading your legs? um I don't really do anything in particular to protect against a hernia. You talking about this position, this one, where I'm catching it like this? Klondike, what's going on? So Zebra, it's taken me a very long time to get to those weights, but I've done that move. I've done that with 330 pounds before, and it's just, you know, you get used to it. There's specific ways that you have to learn, but I mean, I've been doing it. I've been lifting nonstop for over 10 years now. So I know it doesn't look like it. No, I mean, it's a different kind of lifting. It's like Olympic lifting instead of Olympic weightlifting instead of like bodybuilding. Ooh, that's what's up, Klondike. Short stories. Do you have a length in mind? Or just like do you have concepts in your head, or how are you deciding what to write? I don't know. I read 3 to 5. Yeah, exactly. I mean, just I write 1,000 word, like almost like scenes. The thing you do with the news articles actually really inspired. Oh, nice. No, dude, I literally have come up with my last, gosh, like my last three books have all been like that. Like something in the news, or some new Nat Geo article, or something happens and I'll write like a little idea and I'm like, ooh, what if? And then like it just and then I write one a week. So eventually I just like sit there and I'm like, one of them just kind of, you know, gets stuck back there, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and then next thing I know it spits out and I'm just like, oh man, I could do this. It could be a book. And so that's where I'll run with them. So are you doing a short story based on the news? An article about exploding trees. Nice. That sounds interesting. There's a list of word counts. All right, let's see what this is. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, so this is like flash fiction. I did not realize that's what I was writing. Shorts, short story, novelette, novella, novel, epic. Oh, that's good. I like that. Article about exploding trees. Yeah, I'll drop. How long are your news based? So Klondike, what I do is I don't do the short story. I don't write short stories. I almost like almost it's like almost like a mini outline. Like I write about so for example, so for CRISPR turned into a whole trilogy. But I wrote about like I write like a brief synopsis about what happened in the news, and then I write what could happen in a story. So I'll be like, the main character realizes that genetic editing isn't available for them, and they have to figure out how to like navigate unedited versus edited world. And the main boss is a I come like who the main bad guy is, who the main character is, some rough ideas about what could happen, stuff like that. So it's like I don't really write the short stories per se. It's almost like like a very rough outline. Dude, I did not know they exploded. That's so fucking cool. Two long log lines. There you go. Exactly. I don't know. I just kind of like it's like didn't even. It's just the length that felt good. It was just never really like a. It was never really a planned thing about like I'm gonna have this. I will try and sometimes to. There's like seven main points I try and hit in a story, and so it's like uh what is it? Weakness, problem, desire, opponent, plan, battle, revelation, equilibrium. So I'll try and hit those sometimes, but even then, the perk. Yeah, exactly. But dude, I literally have had like shit. I wrote said three. It might be more than three. I have to really look at how many of my books started as blog posts. These quick little um things. These quick little turning news stories into news articles into stories. Thank you. I'm here on what. How was Parappa? How was Dustin during the fireworks? Did he get freaked out at all? Nice. Oh wow. Kita was dude, Kita was pacing. She like laid still. She would like pop her head up and then be like panting like crazy. She was freaking out a little bit. Our guy's more irritated that he wasn't out of the cage all day. So you just kept him in the cage during the fireworks? For most of them, yeah, he was out. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, it was wild here. It was all evening. Shit started at like 4 o'clock. Just pew, 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 pew. It's like I literally just think I was like, where do you guys get all these fucking fireworks? Who's setting these off? Are there fire? What does your fire safety look like? Are there certifications? Like, oh, I have so many questions about lighting fireworks, and I'm just like, especially near buildings, right? Like, it's one thing if you're in the cut, a whole nother thing when you are in a city. Like, how many fires were started last night? I need to see some documentation and permits, please. Yeah, it's just wild. I couldn't believe how many there were. Not fires. How many fireworks? So Klondike, do you have any ideas about what you're going to write about the exploding palm trees? To our parking spot. Xochitl. How do you say that? I keep wanting to. Xochitl. Yeah, Xochitl. Or Sho. See, I would say Xochitl. Shochi. Interesting. I like that. And that's in your newest story, Zeeb? Xochitl. Okay. Like the actress. I wonder where Tom is. Normally he stops by. Yes, sir. Decided to use a Southern Mexicana for her first name. Very cool. And this is your is this the character that the drawing you made, or is this a new character for your new story? He was in stream last night. Might be writing. Yeah, he probably is writing. Oh, he stopped by yours. Nice, dude. That's the character you saw a while ago. I made the picture using the program, so a mix of both me and the program. Gotcha. Ita. Hmm. Not talented enough to hand draw something that good. Stick your ears and pointing while mumbling. Nice. Hold on, so how did you make it though? Is it like a what program? Like the game? Lead Dangerous character. Oh, character creator. Gotcha. I like the tattoos a lot. They look really cool. Time suck. Your boy, what's up? What's up? Michelle there too? Dude, you know I got a soft spot for Marvel, man. I'll probably see that one in theaters. I probably will. But if not, I'm definitely watching it on Disney Plus. I watch every Marvel at home now. We're not yeah, I mean, it's also different going to the theaters in Florida. Yeah, I was trying to catch up to with one of my buddies. I was trying to call him on the phone, and he literally just texted me, and we keep missing each other. And I just texted him like I was like, "Hey, I'm streaming. I can't talk." And so he just sent me his calendar for like to schedule an appointment for a call. I was like, "Dude, this is." I was like, "I never thought in a million years we would get to this point, but here we are." Dang, it's just thundering. Kita's gonna be upset about this now. This poor dog can't catch a break. Last night she was super anxious about the fireworks. Now she's got thunder to deal with. Hudson, you watched Doctor Strange? You are a self-absorbed, narcissistic hero. You don't do heroic things because they are the right thing to do, but because they garner the praise of the people and make you popular. The villains are offended by this. Funny you said that. Looked at the radar and see a few buildings south of the border from me. Yeah, man. I think it's about to storm. The trees are blowing like it's gonna rain within the hour. Oh no, but it says there's nothing here, so yeah, it doesn't even say we're supposed to get rain till tomorrow. So I don't know. You're gonna try. So I'm not. So okay. So I have to clarify, and this is actually a common misconception. Um, it's called Olympic weightlifting because this is the weightlifting that's in the Olympics, but uh, I am not even I. So I'm at like right below the cusp of national level lifting. So for example, I snatch like okay, so the lift where you put it overhead with your legs split apart, that I've hit my best ever is 330 pounds. Okay. In my weight class to go to the Olympics, that would have to be probably closer to 400 pounds. So I'm not even close. I'm very close to nationals, to being a national level lifter. That's not really it's a problem because I've never done it before. But I'm literally within striking distance of national level lifting. To get to international level lifting is a whole nother step up, and that's where it's like I mean, not probably. I'll never get to that level, and I only have a couple more years left because I'm already getting old. I'm already 34, and so you don't. It's not like you can just keep getting stronger forever. You know what I mean? It's there's a very real limit to when you can expect um more strength. Or same with speed too. And so eventually I'm gonna probably transition to another sport. I'm leaning towards kung fu, just something that I can really obsess over and perfect, and work on my breathing and positions and um, had that kind of discipline. But lifting is I'm not even close to the Olympic level. So another way to think about this, I am at the same. I lift the same amount as the best women in the United States at my weight class. So there's a woman who weighs about like maybe 10 pounds less than me, and she hit a little less than me in competition, and she won gold in nationals, not Olympics. And so the United States is also notoriously bad in the Olympics or in the world stage. So, for example, the world record for my weight class is 210 kilos. So, Carlos or 207, but let's just round to 210. So we're looking at like 455, 460 is the world record right now, and he just hit it. Carlos Nasser from Bulgaria just hit it last year. And so I'm a very very long way from being international level lifter. But I like it. This is like the kind of lifting I enjoy doing. I like, I can show up to the gym every day. I like it. So it's like, whatever keeps you active and keeps you moving. Adulation. I think I have this. Adulation. Yep. As I passed him, I mentioned how there were men chasing me. You're a bad influence. You have me writing. Yeah, you're welcome, Zebra. You're welcome. It's good, man. It's good. I mean, especially when you have ideas. If you didn't have ideas, it's kind of like, all right, just enjoy yourself, play your game, whatever. But if you got ideas, man, you got to get them out. Make authors out of all. I think anyone can write. I think the choice to publish is a unique individual choice, but I do think anyone can write. Hmm. That's a good place to end it. I don't know if I want to do another little mini scene. So what could I don't even know what could I mean eventually the villains. So the villains have to be offended by why the hero is in this prompt. The villains have to be offended by why the hero does the right thing, right? So he does it because they garner the praise of the people and make him popular. But I don't think there can be any repercussions in such a short story. I would almost have to make it. If I was going to do it again, I'd have to start it where he's in trouble. But even then. All right, that's good enough. 1,000 words. Quick thou. Let's pop this into Grammarly. I'll go around the front to his front. My hands on my hips. Look down my nose where he. That's good enough. Both cocked our heads, listening to the approaching sound. I don't. Easy, because everyone loves me for it. And it makes me popular. Alright. No, keep that. And it makes me popular. Onlookers. I wish I could. There's a way, like on Max, you can do an M dash really easily, but on here, on PC, it's like there's not. I don't know if. Let me see. PC M dash shortcut. Alt 0151. Are you fucking? I'm not remembering that. Does it work though? Alt 0151. Man, that shit don't work. Admiration. Journey from the warehouse I climbed on. Another hooligan off the streets. I said into the camera, like this post and leave a comment about how I can help you. I added before posting it to my story. What? I added, nope. 2 more climbed onto the roof and another superpowers. Because in a flash, I returned the way I came. Yeah, it's not important. There's a great disturbance in the alt codes. Is if someone uses 0259019. What's that mean? See, and like this shit's so confusing. I'm like, why can't I do an M, like M dash is literally there's like a, what is it? Option shift hyphen. Or option or control. I don't know, it's muscle memory now. But I heard them hit the ground before turning the corner and running back towards the police. Okay, there were men, and I mentioned men were chasing me. In Libra, it is. I wonder if that'll work on here. Nope. PCM dash. Yeah, on Windows it's less simple. See, Option Shift Dash. Surround a single dash with spaces between words. I don't know. I wonder if that works. It won't. Oh, okay. Him pressing and me avoiding. All right. They may have a code, but if so, yeah, that's what I said. It's just like I don't think there is. I mean, maybe I could do auto. I could do auto replace, to be honest with you. If I mean, I wonder actually. Here, let's see. I wonder if I can set it up in Scrivener. Project. Maybe text hiding, writing tools. Yeah, I'd have to look up how to do it. I'm gonna cut and paste. So I need to add one to. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like there's especially in Scrivener. Scrivener's like so annoying because it's like it's really good for having like these are all separate, almost like separate documents, but just in one big, gigantic file, right? Which is great. I like that aspect of Scrivener, but I wish I could. I wish I knew how to like do a quick replacement. Like almost like I wonder if there's like a library almost. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let me post this guy. In case anyone wants to go read what I just wrote. Quick writing prompt, 1,000 words. It's short. It's like a quick little scene of a story. And like this could, I could easily see this turning into a much larger story. Like if, let's say there's like a powerful mob boss or crime lord, and they set up the hero, the main character, and he has to, I don't know, turn to being a criminal, I guess, because they realize that he doesn't do it for because it's wrong or because I'm sorry, because it's right. So the writing prompt was you are a self-absorbed narcissistic hero. You don't do heroic things because they are the right thing to do, but because they garner the praise of the people and make you popular. The villains are offended by this. How's your newest novel outline shaping up? Not really shaping up at all right now, honestly. It's I'm still in like the early research phases. So it's kind of annoying because since my Delta flight got canceled to Machu Picchu, I had to completely start a new project. And so still kind of wrapping my head around it. And then so I'm watching there's a video what's it called? It's called it's a movie called Aguirre by Werner Herzog. Um, and so Werner Herzog is like this famous German director, screenwriter, author, actor, opera director. He's a super famous dude, but he made a movie about it's like right after the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire. There's a Spaniard by the name of Aguirre who went down the Amazon in search of El Dorado. Is his story. But it's really interesting because I'm actually want to do some more research on everything that Werner Herzog has done, because the one who caught a bullet on camera. Who? Werner Herzog? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Holy shit, I didn't know that. That's a thing? He was good in the yeah, exactly. And so okay, so it's really cool because he made this movie called Aguirre, The Wrath of God, and it has Francisco Pizarro. It's set in the years after the Spanish conquest of the Incan Empire, and it has a lot of it documents their trip down the Amazon or down one of the rivers, and then eventually it the real history of it is this group that Francisco Pizarro was a part of ended up discovering the Amazon first. It was this guy Orellano. But in the movie, it's kind of he combines two expeditions. The search for there's whatever the word for cinnamon is in canela, I think, in Spanish. So he combines the search for the cinnamon town and El Dorado, and into the movie for Aguirre, because Aguirre was apparently like super fucking wild. Um, and then Werner Herzog also had another movie that I just found out about today. It's about a rubber baron in the Amazon, that he documents this really brutal rubber baron and how he went around, and kind of what this guy did. He disassembled a ship, took it over in isthmus, and then like reassembled it. But he was like a slave driver almost against for the indigenous people in the area in the Amazon. And so, but this guy Werner Herzog made another movie about that, and same actor and everything, Klaus Kinski or something like that. And I'm just like I'm really fascinated that we're both not we're both like I'm not putting myself on the same level as him, but I just at least interested in um the same kind of history. And Fitzcarraldo, how did you know that? Did you know that for real? For real? An Irishman known in Peru as Fitzcarraldo determined to transport a steamship over a steep hill to access a rich rubber territory in the Amazon basin. And so but I would definitely write, because I've had my eye on, especially now that I'm going to start doing these kind of like historical fiction, fictionalized accounts of real historical things, occurrences. But so like I could easily see myself writing something like this brutal rubber baron that no one knows about, and this is a real guy, this Fitzcarraldo. It's Carlos Fitzcarrald. Yeah, I mean he's like hella familiar. He's like hella famous, right? So it's like, but it's just fascinating that the history that I'm interested in is also showing up in his body of work. And so I'm like wondering, I'm like thinking in my head, kind of processing if I want to just pretty much make the book versions of some of the villains that he documents, and then maybe try and like get on his radar, or or like be like, hey, like send him a copy of this book I wrote about Aguirre and Pizarro, and then send him the book I wrote about Fitzcarraldo. And then there's also a lot of the stuff in the Congo with the Belgians, and I feel like there's a lot of potential for a historical novel in the Belgian Congo as well, because of all the what they did to the indigenous peoples over there. Dude, right? But it's just like I'm like fascinated because it's like he's already like these are. I mean, Fitzcarraldo came out in what 1982. Aguirre came out in 1972, and so I'm just really fascinated that, and like I think it's really cool that we have the same interests in history. Like I could easily see him having directed and made a movie about Diego de Landa, which is the book that my most popular book. And so, here, let me see this video though. Hold on, let's watch this. Oh man, hold on. I gotta mess with my sound settings because they kind of get little. The mixer I gets messed up when I
Herzog for the Culture Show a while ago for about his film Grizzly Man. I was interviewing him in Los Angeles, out on an open road, and in the middle of the interview, he got shot. He now has been telling that story and dining out, and every time he tells the story, he becomes more courageous, which I have to say he was. And we, the BBC, become more and more cowardly. It's like, oh yes, they were ducking and running away, but I was just standing there. To me, it is an insignificant bullet.
Well, I think in the mood of fairness and transparency that the BBC is embracing at the moment, we can all relive that as it actually happened right now.
In Germany, I've somehow left a paved road. Nobody cares about my films. For example, what's...
Yo!
We quickly realised that some wacko had taken a pot shot at us with an air rifle, and Herzog had been hit.
So this literally just happened when we were standing outside there,
camera.
and there was a noise. And
Oh my
He
gosh!
said, "I've been shot." Look, you're bleeding. Look, somebody shot at you and created a wound in your abdomen.
It's not significant.
The scariest thing about that is that when he reveals the bullet wound, it's hard not to go, but he's wearing paisley boxer shorts. Werner Herzog, the man who's been in the jungles of Peru and everything, wears paisley boxer shorts. God bless him.
He likes a little bit of luxury underneath. Don't we all? Don't we all?
Yo, I did not know. Oh my gosh. So I think so. Okay, so back to like what I'm doing right now. I'm watching Aguirre. I'll probably watch Fitzcarraldo, because I think that at least Aguirre, it does a very good job of showing kind of how miserable it was traveling for the Spaniards. Like, they're trying to keep a horse on some floating ass raft. Everything is wet and soggy, and their gear is like just, I mean, they've worn the same, and you just imagine how disgusting it all is. They go to the bathroom and all these things together. It's just like, it gives a really, it's like a very visceral display of the challenges of traveling through Peru and the Peruvian Amazon. And so, since he did all the legwork of, creating this visual kind of stimulus about what it was like, I don't have to live it. I don't have to see it. I can take that and then I can write it. But it's like, oh, it was XYZ. It was cold. It was wet. It was I can kind of use that information to know what it was like to travel in Peru during the Spanish conquest, especially when they were attacked, because Gonzalo Pizarro, pretty much he was a pretty bad guy, but Francisco Pizarro is the one who's like who got the official title from, I think it was King Charles or Philip or something, and he's the one who got the rights to conquer Peru. Well, he brought his three of his brothers, I believe, and he left two of them in charge of Cusco, which was the Incan capital, of their empire. And so they had a truce with the Incan emperor. They had like a puppet emperor, but everyone still spoke Quechua. They were still using their quipu. They were still they still had their culture alive. And the Spaniards were content with letting that their culture continue, because more or less, if you take over a territory without any way to collect taxes, what's the point of taking over this giant territory? So the Inca already had set up the whole tax structure and the whole kind of infrastructure to rule the empire, and then Pizarro just went on top. Okay, well, while Gonzalo Pizarro and his brother were in charge of Cusco with the emperor there, they started being really abusive towards the emperor, and eventually made the emperor, Gonzalo Pizarro made the emperor, took the emperor's wife and made him his concubine, I guess would be the right word for it. I don't know. But and then that's what caused Manco Inca to rebel. So there's a very real argument that could be made that if Gonzalo Pizarro hadn't demanded the Incan queen while he was living in Cusco, we would still today have, or at least for the next 100 years, whatever it was, for a longer period of time, I would imagine today, but whatever, we would still have a lot of the Incan Empire influences, and there would be a much more culturally significant Peruvian influence on, or Incan influence on Peru nowadays. And so that's the kind of the guy that ruined it all. Just like Diego de Landa, the Catholic priest who burned the Mayan books, he kind of ruined it all for the Maya Empire. And so that's why I want to really highlight Gonzalo Pizarro, because everything was going all right. You know, it was like they took over, the Spaniards took over, but they were still letting the Incas do their thing, keep their culture, keep everything going, except Gonzalo Pizarro ruined it all. And so I do want to kind of go through that. And then there's all sorts of political backstabbing and alliances that went on. So Francisco Pizarro, his second in command wasn't a brother. It was a guy, Diego de Almagro. Well, Almagro, pretty much like Francisco Pizarro got the top half of this land that in Spain's name, and Almagro got the bottom half, which is like the top of Chile, and all the way down to I think it's the Mapuche. It's a tribe that fought him off. Well, there was nothing there. There's just, it was kind of desolate, and there was no infrastructure, there was no organization. So Almagro came back. When he came back, he realized that Manco Inca had separated and was rebelling. And so Almagro actually sided with the Incan Empire, this kind of guerrilla warfare state, and he captured Gonzalo Pizarro. But then he released the Pizarro brothers in like good faith that they would just kind of go their separate ways, because where Cusco was, it was on the border, and it wasn't necessarily a sure thing of who owned it, Almagro or Pizarro. And so they were waiting for the king's kind of ruling. Well, when Gonzalo Pizarro went back, they got released, he went back, and then they killed Almagro. And so then eventually Almagro's son that Almagro had with a native woman, Almagro's son came and killed Gonzalo. And so it's like this huge kind of like Game of Thrones-y kind of thing going on. Tom, what's going on, man? I was wondering if you were going to show up today. How was your weekend? Your long weekend? Yeah, see, like, okay, like Aguirre, The Wrath of God. It follows the Spanish soldier Lope de Aguirre, and then talks about that. And then his next movie, The Enigma of Caspar Hauser. Film tells the real story of foundling Caspar Hauser using the text of actual letters. So it's like all these movies that Werner Herzog has made, I can kind of go back if I wanted and pick and choose and write the books. And so about the same characters or similar characters. And so I think that I'm going to almost like use Werner Herzog as like my pole star and just be like, okay, so this type of thing. And he, like, it looks like he used a lot of real historical movies based on real people. And so I want to do something similar and become that kind of author where he made the movies, I want to make the books. So yeah, and then his third movie was based on a Bavarian prophet. His fourth movie, no one there. Nosferatu, Fitzcarraldo, Cobra Verde with Klaus Kinski. A fictional slave trader who traveled to the West African kingdom. So there you go. So we were always just talking about Belgian Congo. So similar, like I think that if I can kind of follow this kind of, in June 2022, Herzog published his debut novel titled The Twilight World, telling the story of Hiro Onada. So this tells the historical story of a Japanese army intelligence officer. Actually, you know what? I'm going to order that right now. It was all right, just normal. Oh, yeah, true. So, Tom, we had a long weekend over here in the States. And so yesterday we just kind of relaxed. Nothing crazy. Did you still work yesterday? I figure, right? Like, why the fuck would you guys be off? The Twilight World. I'm like, dude, I want to read this like next. Wow, it just came out. June 14th. in his first novel. Dude, I want to, like, now I think my goal, I'm going to call it here. What is it? July 3rd, July 5th, I'm sorry. I'm going to meet Werner Herzog because of my books. I just need to find a way to get some of these books made that piques his interest. Dude, I can't believe he took a bullet on camera though. Holy fuck. Lessons of Darkness. Yeah, so he literally just makes these like what's it called? Historical fiction into movies, and so I think I'm after, especially after having my Indigenous Magic series have to be put on the back burner for a second. I think this is really interesting. Grizzly Man, dude, I had no idea he made so many. But anyway, so Zebra, that's my long-winded oh shit. So even so, in his book, Werner Herzog says most details are factually correct. Some are not. I like that. But anyway, so Zebra, that's like kind of the long-winded way to answer how everything's going with my book, with my outline. I'm just trying to wrap my head around kind of like the trajectory, you know, like what it is I want to do, what it is I want to, like what I can bring, and what unique stories I can write. Dang, she ignored the shit out of me. What is the Japanese one, the one who surrendered in 74? Let me see. Spent 29 years in hiding. Yeah. 74. Zebra, yeah, that is. You knew about him? You want me to send you? I'll send you the book I just ordered. Because it is about him. Yeah, that's the one I just wrote. He defended a small island in the Philippines for 29 years after the end of World War II. In 1997, Werner Herzog was in Tokyo to direct an opera. His hosts asked him, "Whom would you like to meet?" He replied instantly, Hiro Onada. Hiru Onada. Onada was a former soldier famous for having quixotically defended an island in the Philippines for decades after World War II, unaware the fighting was over. Herzog and Onada developed an instant rapport and would meet many times, talking for hours and together unraveling the story of Onada's long war. There are several who did not surrender until long after. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. But it's just fascinating that he wrote this book in his first novel. Dang, even this dude gets 2-star reviews. That doesn't make me feel that bad. How many pages is it? 144 pages? That's not terribly short. It's pretty short, not terribly though. Zebra, Tom, how's your writing going? You knocking anything out today? I'm still just kind of digesting what I have to do, next. And that's what we were just talking about. I wrote a poem for the first time. Dude, Tom, how do you get so many likes on WordPress, man? Good for you. Dude, Tom, this is actually really good. I think people search. Okay, but I don't even know if you can search poetry on WordPress. On WordPress, yeah, there's probably a plugin. But I don't know if anyone goes. I don't know if anyone just goes to WordPress.com. Yeah, see, because even now it's log in and it goes to your website. So Tom, when you say people search poetry, what do you mean by that? Yeah, you can add tags for your website though. I don't understand. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. It's just a hosting website. There's not like this central WordPress place. So you can add tags, but it's like tags within your website. So like even if I wrote poetry, I can add my poetry tag. I could write my poetry tag, but that would just show up on my own website. That wouldn't show up on. There's no like products, features. Yeah, see, that's what I'm like. I'm like Tom. You might have found like a fucking golden goose here, buddy. Because I don't know how you're like how that just there's not just a way to search WordPress. No one follows, but yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like I think you might have a golden goose here, buddy. Like whatever, like. Dude, run with it, man. I can tell you right now, I don't get any likes. Let me see. Nah, man. There's not really any likes or nothing. Wouldn't WordPress or other forms show up on a general search or phrases searched for? Okay, so so Zebra, from my understanding, I mean, like, and like this is why I'm so floored because, okay, so for example, if you have your WordPress site, if say there's the poetry tag, okay, well that would have to show, like, you can't just type in poetry and then on Google, and there's nowhere to just type in poetry on WordPress, right? And then and search for that way. And then if you're going to search for it on Google, it's going to be buried in the search results page because there's just so many people and so many search results and so many options. And half the time, without an ungodly level of traffic, Google doesn't even crawl your site for anywhere from, I don't know, 2 to 3 days potentially. And so that's where it's just I'm in awe that he's getting so much traffic like organically, which is fantastic. Tom, you get really good views, man. Wouldn't WordPress or other forms show up on a general search or phrases searched for? Like, okay, let's put it this way. Even if you search Google, perhaps parsing his tags might bring illuminate. Yeah, I mean, let's see here. If I go, poetry. Yeah, see, it only shows up for his blog. Like it's his own tags. So it's your own sorting in your own website though. And so that's where it's just like, okay, but someone has to look at this. So did you post it on Twitter, Tom? Or are you part of any blogging groups? bit like your TikTok. Yeah, man, my TikTok, I feel like I just put stuff up and I get like 1,000 views. If it is a repeatable item, then what would variations of the same produce? So anyone that would, okay, so if anyone wanted to search for poetry on his website, like it would have to be on his website though. That's the only thing. That's why how do these other people even find you? What is this Gravatar? I'd have to be honest with you, Zebra, if I was going to really dive into this, I'd have to see his plugins because his plugins might have, let's say like, okay, if there's, I can auto post my, like my blog posts, I can, or like my company, the digital marketing companies, I could auto post those to LinkedIn. And so people from LinkedIn would go see that blog post. And so he might belong, there might be like some plugin that like Tom, that you might belong to somewhere else, like some blog writing group or something. I'm dude, I'm in awe. Like, cause even some of my, let me see. Okay, so some of these I know get, let's say, oh gosh, these blog posts average maybe 1,000 impressions a week, and yeah, there's no shares or likes, and I get that, and I get 1,000 impressions a week. That's why I'm just like, damn, Tom, like you're whatever you're on, man. You keep doing it. However you're pumping them out, if you put them on Twitter, you put it wherever you put it, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Okay, so Tom, but the prevailing wisdom would be that having more obscure content and having more specific content means that it's not buried, right? And so that's why I don't think it's necessarily for a search engine that's doing this for you. So Zebra, like you're asking about SEO, I don't think this is a search engine thing. This is almost like a social media marketing, or I'd have to see where this links to. Yeah, general stuff. Exactly. But and so that's where I'm just like I would think again the prevailing wisdom would be that since you just post general stuff, it would get buried, but yours isn't. Yours is rising to the top. And so that's why I'm just like, dude, you whatever you've got going on, man, just keep doing it. Like you might be onto something here. The spiders will crawl regardless of site type, I would think, and produce keywords from that. Correct. But I don't think it's a search engine thing. I was curious about his tags and playing with the variations to see what they could produce for him if repeatable. Oh no, I mean it sounds like he's got like a very repeatable process for getting his blog posts seen and engaged with. Like this is fantastic. 18 likes, and when did you post, Tom? When did you post that? Yeah, dude, getting 18, that's like that's 6 likes a day. That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it might even be that like, I mean, it's like it's nice and straightforward. It's solid. Look at the bright side. Tom becomes a famous poet. He can buy us a cup of coffee, and we can. Dude, I'll go my ass to, what are you, Reading? I'll go to Reading and hang out and get coffee. I'll get a coffee from Tom. And so, Tom, do you engage with these? Do you engage with the other blog, the other people that are writing, that are liking your post? Do you engage in their blogs? Yeah, sometimes. So maybe I mean, to be honest with you, maybe there's just enough people that are checking out your blog just like you're checking out theirs. The same concept, like back and forth. Because I mean, I think you just probably had this much traffic. That's really impressive though. And there's Kita. She wouldn't go because there was thunder and fireworks. Good question. Is it the blog only or others? Yeah, that's why I asked him, and he said no. I asked him if he like put it on Twitter or anything, because if you put it on Twitter, then it's like, oh, okay, you know, maybe he's got like a big Twitter following. But that's why I'm just so, I don't know how. I know, dude. Well, because I'm not like excited to see Kita. She's excited to see. I'm just like, get your ass over here. Yeah, I think to be honest, I think he just engages with enough people and other blogs that he's just part of the network. And so when you get like that kind of network, um, you can really kind of get a lot of proof, social proof. Tom, I love it, man. This is fantastic. Does anyone ever comment on your blog? I look at the bright side. Exactly. This dog's gassy as hell. So there you go. But yeah. All right. Well, Tom, if you get around to, yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. This is great. I love it. We just gotta, if we can nail down what it is that's working, though. I think that's the biggest point. So Tom, we're not. I think Zebra and I are both not at all surprised by your success. It's just more like we're trying to figure out what it is that is getting you this many views and likes and engagement, and so that way you can like flywheel it, spin it up, and get even more. So, but hey, let me take like 5-10 minutes. I gotta make my rice for the evening, get the rice cooker set up, get a drink of water, run to the bathroom, and then I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes, guys. It's to do with sex cells, buddy boy. Fucking, you putting up these seductive ass pictures, and you know, guaranteed. This is his first. Let's get a timeline going. Yeah, exactly. And so if we can see what happens over time, and then what, like, I want to know, because if you can repeat it, Tom, then we can really get you a fuck ton of traffic. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys.